Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing a short-term outlook for Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin. Today, we started breaking out our videos into long-term, medium-term, and short-term views because everyone has a different perspective and a trading style. And so because of that, we want to make sure that we have a wide variety of coverage because the long-term view and the medium-term views don't change on a daily basis. So by eliminating some of those types of videos on a daily basis, we can expand our coverage to more coins. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be adding about 8 more coins into our daily short-term videos. So let's start with Bitcoin. So our long-term view is neutral, our medium-term view is positive, and our short-term view is positive. It's been long for a while, so let me show you that. So on February 7th, our short-term trend changed to a buy, and we've been taking mostly long signals with one short signal in between when it was in a resistance zone. But now we are clearly in a buy range. And so we entered our recent trade at 97.60, and we have a trailing stop at 9,800. So we'll take a small profit if we get kicked out. And currently it's at about 10,000. So we expect it to go a little bit higher and higher. Our profit zone over here would be around in the 11,000 range if it gets there. So let's look at Ether. So Ether has been a little bit different. Ether I've been very, very cautious with over the last couple weeks because it hasn't really broken out. It took a long time for it to change the long-term view into a negative. And because of that, it's been a little bit slow over the last couple weeks. So unlike some others, it hasn't really broken through major resistance. It's been stagnating over a little range. But we're going to still take trades on a short-term view because our short-term, when we look at it here, when we go out, turned into a trend change on a short-term basis was last week, February 7th. So once again, we've been taking mostly long signals to the top. We are in a current trade at 924.36, and we have a stop loss at 924. So right now Ether is at about 931, so we have a very, very small profit, but we're going to keep it very, very tight because Ether hasn't been shooting up as much as Bitcoin or Litecoin. Let's go over to Litecoin, which has been one of our favorite coins over the last couple weeks. Last week I posted a video on YouTube talking about the possible pending breakout for Litecoin once it trades out of this little yellow zone. And in the video, I mentioned that if it does break out, that we can see it go up to 170 to 200. That's exactly what it did. So we had a nice trade the other day from 155, and we got stopped out at 198. And right now, we're waiting for a buy signal to the upside, and it's going to be at about 225.80. That's really confirmation. That's really what we were waiting for. That's really the key difference between trading and gambling. So when you see something happening, you can't just like dive all in, because when you see color change on a certain thing, depending on whatever indicators that you're using, you can't just jump right in because you always will have to wait for confirmation. For example, here we have a color change on Litecoin. So let me zoom it in. So if you wanted to go short here, you would have been, if you had jumped in just when color change had happened, you would have had a huge loser because it never confirmed to the downside. Same thing over here. If you had waited for color change over here to go short, right, you would have been very disappointed because it never happened. Here, yes, it happened, right? And then you would have a small little profit if you went short. So now, same thing. If you had gone in on the upside at this little color change at around 221, basically you'd have a small loser on your hands, but you would have had to wade through this whole mess when it went down to almost 205. So even though we're in a long signal for a short-term basis, the medium-term basis, and the long-term basis for Litecoin, we always have to wait for confirmation. And that's where the discipline part comes in. So we're gonna wait for our entry around 225.80. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, we'll just wait for our next setup. Maybe it'll curl back down. It'll go until about 200, and maybe we'll be able to get in at a better price. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's okay. But we don't want to be chasing, right? Because the key thing is FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, right? And that's what people are always afraid of, right? They're afraid of like missing out on the huge move. So when it gets into the 221 area, the 225, 230, people are like, oh my God, I don't want to miss it until it goes into like 300. But right now, we don't know if it's going to do that. So we have to be a little bit more patient and wait for our signals. So hope this helps. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be doing some more videos on basics, fundamental, and technical analysis. Thank you for watching. And if you like us, please subscribe to our channel.